Welcome back. We just had a break, and then after break we had a small discussion. But recently I was contacted by one of the Satsangis, and this is in regard to this a video Ishwar Puri Sandmat, and Master speaks about how do we become on Perfect Living Master's list, so to speak. And most people, the understanding is that, and the explanation generally are given that the master comes with this list of the souls. Those are the souls on his list. He's here to pick them up and take them back to true home. By the way, as a side note, once you're initiated by the Perfect Living Master with the true Namdan, the true connection with the Shabbat, Master will take you back to true home, to true Sachkhand. Generally speaking, these masters are saying so many lifetimes. I said before 5 to 6 lifetimes. Sometimes they will say 4 lifetimes. Like in the case of the great master initiation, no more than 4 lifetimes. You need to understand that these are just, there is no, it may take us as long as you like, so to speak. So you may be initiated by the Perfect Living Master, but because the way the deeds we do, the samskaras we have, the memories we have, the karma we have, they may take a lot longer too. Or it may take a 1 lifetime. If the soul, let's call it soul, is ready to go back to true home. But according to these masters, this is guarantee that once you're initiated by the Perfect Living Master, the Master will take you back home. And in this case, we're speaking about true Sachkhand. Can anyone reach that without initiation by the Perfect Living Master? The answer to that is no. You have to be initiated by the Perfect Living Master to go back to true home. Even if you are, I'm not speaking specifically you, anyone here, even if we are initiated by this different master, this master, that master, unless we initiated by the master who operates from the state of consciousness at the time of initiation. I explained that in the last Satsang. So we do need to be initiated by PLM. So now, like I said, most people think the master is born and there's some kind of list before he is born, all the souls. Let's say 10, 20,000 million souls, whatever. I mean, I also mentioned earlier that the imprint of prarabdha karma, when we are right before we are born as a baby into this world, to this physical world, also includes meeting the master, also includes initiation. This is all written. How should I metaphorically say that? This is all written on your forehead. Okay. So now, let's say that is the case. I mean, you may not see it. I may not see it. So no one can see it, but Perfect Living Master, when he sees you, he marks you. Okay. So you own that master's list. And Pranay was explaining to me, based on that, what Mr. Puri says, how the master evaluate this. You remember what you said, Pranay? About that video, yeah. Mr. Puri explained. So why don't you explain that? What you said to me.
What was said was the master qualifies the one he chooses and does not choose the qualified. That was a very remarkable.
Would you repeat that? Because that's a very important.
His master qualifies the one he chooses and does not choose the qualified. So I'm not saying it word to word, but what I understand.
So you've been trying to explain this process. You said, Cezary Ji, you've been saying that, right? Before. And we've been saying this at these different satsangs. So I'm trying to explain this process because this is satsang when I was with the master, Mr. Puri. And if you're in that situation, you have opportunity, you can see master doing it. Master will sit at the table, and there could be another table. In this case was the lady, a young lady, like, and I'm sitting with the master. I think you were there too. You were there too, Grace. And you see the lady will like turn and look at the master. Something that, and told her inside, and the master will look at her. So now you have a situation of updating the list, okay, let's say. So it's not like this list like 100 people. This list is alive. I always try to explain to everybody that this is a live process. Interaction with the master, especially perfectly with the master, is a live process. So it's amazing to see that, I witnessed that. So this is very important because we've been saying this for a long time. And there's another principle here. Can master live this world without picking up all this souls, let's call it, on his list? So please understand that this is not this doesn't not may necessarily like many people are saying. I'll try and explain. Like let's say there's 10 people and that's it, right? This is the life process. And why it is a life process? Because the real show is way within. So I will tell you another secret. Don't go repeat that to anyone. The real show is in Satsang. And the real, if you want to call it, decisions are made way up there, okay? And fortunately, unfortunately, there's this delay. Master may say something to you, which is already done. So let's say you're with the master. And you've been a good disciple. And the master will say, okay, it's done. It's done. He will just tell you. And you're like, what did master just say? I mean, all I see the master in front of me, and he's telling me that, but is my consciousness really registering that? And then you may ask, why me? Why me? I mean, why, master, why me? Gift like that. Masters do this, gift like that, and the master will tell you why. But you may have another questions, this and that, and master will say, you will see. So the master is conscious of this process. Let's call it process. This is outside of time and space. Okay, this is outside of name and form, but he is aware of that. But we may not be. We may not be aware, but he is. So, but later on, something start happening to you. Something start happening to you. Things start revealing itself without pounding your head against a brick wall, without reading 100 books and 10 different languages and memorizing everything. So this process is instantaneous. When you're with the perfect living master, it's instantaneous. But it may take you another 5-10 years to even realize that possibility. So this is very interesting. If you love the master and you trust him unconditionally, the master say, you will see. Then that's it. The mind will be stunned. The mind, you know, why the mind is questioning, because to discover the truth means elimination of the mind. And the mind has its own self-preservation system, escape valve, like the pressure valve on a boiler. It doesn't want to cease to exist in that sense. And this brings us back to the subject of karma, sentient karma. And as these masters explain this erasing of sentient karma in different ways, depends who they're talking to. So, okay, but if one master, like we spoke, Govinder Singh is correct, and Mr. Puri is correct, then what really happens? What will fulfill, what process will fulfill that they're both correct? And this is the process of thinking you outside of the mind. And once you're outside of that, no sentient, no rank, no transmigration, none of that applies. None of this mind stuff. And most of us, we like to mix that the soul is some kind of mix with the mind, or the soul is imprisoned by the mind, like the prisoner in its jail cell, the soul. So most people look at this concept that way, and they say, well, I need somebody not to just bring me a cookie every week to make me feel better, but I need somebody to open the lock with the key, right? to let me out. But please understand that you are not a prisoner as the soul. As the mind, this is self-created prison. And you hold the key in that sense. So, anyone has another question, or are we just going to wrap this up, this satsang? I have quite a few questions about the fireplace. I don't know if to bring them in here. I'd rather to address the questions as you guys may have. Not somebody had half a year ago, I have some of the questions maybe like that. I write them down. Some of those questions, if someone writes to me, they always get answer. It may take a little bit of time, or Pranay may write the answer. He will usually ask me, Cezary Ji, what do you, this and that, do I approve? But everybody is always getting answer, and some of these answers are really complicated from the point of view of the person who is asking. But I don't remember that we never answer. We had a situation we never answer someone. So if you want to talk about another subject, now is the time. Or if you want to share something, someone in the satsang, let's see who is here. I can be talking for I can be talking for hours. It's not about me here. I'm trying to address you guys in the sense that this is a relatively small group, but this is the only opportunity we have as friends.
Mr. Cezary Ji, I have a question. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
The question is, what, in your opinion, what is the best way to test whether it's a PLM or not, or to test a master? If you're really seeking, because why I say that is because, like when you popped up on my YouTube, after I was tapped in with Israel Puri Santmat, right after that they start flooding in like different groups that were claiming to be doing that seva for Mr. Puri, and it's just like I want to give people, I want to be open to the truth, like how great masters said, I'll take the truth from anyone. But I don't want to be deceived, because this is serious for me, like this is really serious. It's not a game for me. And I want to know, in your opinion, that's what I want to know, because there's people, they're saying a lot of stuff. And a lot of times, the reason why I'm here is because I can't even really tell you, but it just feels right for me to be here. But when I look at the other groups, like, it like breaks my heart that there's so many people making these claims. And it is like, sometimes it's like, what do I know? I don't know. I'm not a master, like I don't know who's who or what's what. And I just want to protect my spiritual life. So how do you test a master? And not only that, like, if you meet a PLM in person, just like with Julian Johnson, Mr. Julian Johnson, when he met the master, he said like he got so much from that, So if you really meet a real PLM and you're really sincere, do you really feel it, or does sometimes the master hide himself from you? I don't, maybe it's two questions, but that was really like struggling with that.
I don't know what to tell you. This is way above my pay grade. To tell you who is who. By the way, Julian Johnson, what would you do if you could talk to Julian Johnson right now?
Oh man, I don't even know. I'd be stoked. I'd be stoked.
So does anyone want to address this from this group instead of me just talking? How do you recognize someone as the perfect living master?
The love pool for me was the love pool. Feel yeah, unbelievable
Yes.
attraction to the master.
So you're referring to when you met the master, like first time?
When I met him the first time, I cried for 3 days. And I had no expectations because I wasn't seeking a master.
Yeah.
You know, just the attraction, it was undeniable. The recognition was undeniable.
Yes. Do you find the master or does master find you? That would be kind of related to that question, right? I mean, there's these principles, the 10 principles, you know, how do you recognize the master, and how the master should behave and not behave. And so, anyone else would like to answer this question? Help answer this question? Anyone in this group? There are some of many initiated by the perfect living master.
I can tell a story. Can I tell a story of
Sure.
Ishwarji?
Yes,
When
yes.
we were in São Paulo and Toshi was in the hospital, he wanted to go to a specific restaurant, an Indian restaurant. And I said, but I looked online, I said, but this restaurant is closed right now. It's going to open 2 hours from now. He goes, no, we go there. And I want to go to this restaurant. Let's go. So we got there to that restaurant and was a Punjab-owned restaurant. The restaurant was closed and the owner of the restaurant was on a garden on the side of that, was like a little house. And he started talking to her in Punjabi and she opened the restaurant for him. And she cooked a meal for him. And then he asked for somebody and she said, he is not here today. He's gonna be here tomorrow. So the next day, he wanted to go back to the same restaurant. And that person was there and came to our table. And Ishwar had a long conversation with that person. So if you ask me, the master finds the souls. He goes through great deal sometimes to to mark the souls, to find the souls in many different ways.
Yes,
I saw it happen more than once in his company.
I seen it happening all the time. Grace and I, we actually live in it. So this process is, but it's also predestined. I try to change this, and it's still, not forcing to change it. Just I did few experiments on these things which I can see. Let's say, okay, let's assume I see the future. Okay, in that sense, my future, what's going to happen here and there. And then I kind of, let's put this to test. I mean, like vividly, I know exactly what's going to happen in that sense. And let's affect this. And it still happens in that sense. This so when I'm concluding this, so it's all pre-written. I came to conclusion, and the real show is way within. What we have here is just a reflection of it. And I have this all the time in that sense. Recently, there was, I received some, from you guys, some of you guys, I received, have you seen this video, right? About someone who just published these 2 videos. have I seen it? And I say, yes, I reply, yes, I'm aware of it. And then someone else will have you, let's say Pranay, have you seen it? I said, yes, Pranay, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it, what is happening. And this synchronicity is when you're in that state of consciousness, you know all of that. Powiedzieć im, że to było nawet. And ironically, the person they're speaking about this right here was right here for about a week. So I cannot tell you more details, but I have his permission to say it. So you guys are sending me these messages, you know, Cezary, you know, like you're trying to enlighten me in that sense, what's happening. And at the same time, the people you're trying to enlighten me about are sitting right here across of me, in that sense. And I'm having conversation, many hours conversations about. So now what I'm getting to is that I mean, here in my house, in the house when we live. So what I'm getting to is that let's say you know about all these things which are going to happen, and they will happen no matter what. Master even reveal to us before, yes. So please understand, when you're at that table, okay, there's very few. But when you're at that table, things will be totally prearranged for you. That includes all the questions you may have. That includes what is really happening, who is not, who does what. You know all about it. And more. And a lot more. And more than that. So, but from a different point of view, like you guys sending me the messages, from that point of view, you see this differently. I see this totally differently. And if I don't see something, Master will make sure I see it. He will literally bring the person here to this house. So I know exactly what's happening. Not just for day, for week. So once we tune in, each of us, into inner, Master makes all these arrangements. Follow here, follow the heart, intuition. So what is the difference? The things happening in your life, you see them in way ahead. That is the difference. For most of us, things happen. But from this different state of consciousness, you see things which are going to happen. You see the people you're going to talk to. You see who is going to pop out, or who is going to show up, who is going to go away. You know these things. Or you don't. If you're not in that state of consciousness, you will never know. You will never meet them. What?
He doesn't want to be deceived.
So, going back to Nathan, I believe question, he does not want to be deceived. If you try to deceive me, it's not going to work. No matter what you do and no matter what you try, it's not going to work. It's not like I'm special or have a psychic powers or anything like that. It's just not going to work. Master's not going to allow that. No matter how close you are or how high you are. So, but this is a two-way street. My responsibility is not to deceive you. So you're trying to make me aware, and I appreciate that, me and Grace, but in the same time, I am right in the middle of what is really going on. And speaking about to the person you even referring to, about these things, so what can be done and what should be done about this and that. So Nathan, some of you probably know what I'm talking about. Some of you not. The only thing I'm revealing this is because I have a permission of the person. But I will not tell you anything else. I don't have a permission for that. So the same when I was with Mr. Puri, he will share many things with me. Many things will crush it. People have no idea. Will affect so many people. But I had to promise I'm gonna, zip. I'm not gonna talk about it. Now I can talk about these things with very few people alive. But that this is a very small circle. So the things we're revealing is just what we can say. Now, Nathan, you ask me how do you know? How do you know if someone is PLM or not? I give this answer before. You have to be a master to know. I mean, if you really want to know, no question asks. You have to share the same consciousness as the PLM. You have to be the master. Otherwise, we rely on love. You pull to this person or you're not. But Nathan, don't judge someone by their looks. Don't judge someone by the looks of what they say. Are they high profile or low profile? Or there's one person listening to that specific, you inquire, or there are 10 people or 1,000. Don't look at that. Because we only see very limited part. Each individual here at the Satsang, you only see very small part what Grace and I do. Very tiny part. Who we keep company with, very small part. But with that small part, you making decision, you make the judgments. Who's that? Right now. So, yeah. So please understand that sometimes there's a lot more that what I can see and eyes can see or ears can hear. But this comes with territory. This comes with territory, and this process is this is lifetimes of that process. Lifetimes. many lifetimes. I don't know, 100,000 lifetimes. This is not like just a one lifetime. And you have, Nathan, you have to make your own decisions. The mind will always question. And there's many people making a lot of different claims. Grace and I, we know who they are. We know the names. And so, but we do not talk about, because this is not my business. This is not my seva. My seva doesn't change. Ishvapur does nothing what's happening. Whoever makes any claims, whatever they do, changes anything as far as Ishvapur is concerned. And if you think it does, I'm assuring you it doesn't. And if I told you to show you the whole picture, you will understand why. But because I cannot, I will not. Pranay asked me, by the way, Cezary Ji, can true everything could be revealed? I said no. And Pranay said something. If I remember, what because people don't deserve it. So why is the true never revealed? The true and nothing but the true. Why? Human take that you know all the true. Even what's happening here. Do you? Do you think these masters are telling everything to you? Do you think Fakir Chan revealed everything to you? All these masters, there's nothing left. This is a great master says in his letters. This is a slow process. Most people think this is instantaneous process. You initiate it and that's it. And this is it. But this is these masters are not pushing. I mean, you have a Kali Yuga now, so they are adjusting, maybe things happening, but there's no rush. There's no rush. They're not rushing people. I mean, those who are really seeking, they will give a recipe to those who are really seeking, and they will do that. They will do meditation. They will establish the radiant form of the master and go through all this process as this prescribed during the initiation. Is everybody doing that? Initiated? No. Some people will take a lot longer. The end is the end is the same for everyone, but some of us will take a lot longer than some other ones. Some other ones, we at this stage, based on the past lives, that let's make this last lifetime. And that's what I always suggest. Aim at highest. Aim at highest, because this goes on and on beyond what you even aware that now. So even the self, this go beyond the self. If 18 chakras is not the end. So even the self, the one, cannot exist outside of concept of many. There cannot be one unless there are many. That is the duality. I always try to explain that the truth you're seeking is beyond the duality, is beyond the name and form, and it's beyond the light, and it's beyond the sound. But this is reserved for Anami Purush, not for you or me, and as a pin body. So does it end here? No, it's not the end. So when you come over to someone or come across someone who is honest and really honest with you, and we share some of these things with you, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. You're very lucky. And that's what I spoke before, that perfect living master will reveal himself. Perfect living master during his life will reveal himself to someone. And there are traps on this path. If you, Gunjan said that he's reading Anurag Sagar, Ocean of Love. Can I have some that water? There are 12 traps of Kanaranjan there. And it's happening right now, after Mr. Puri passed. I can tell you exactly which ones, but why don't you figure out yourself? So this is ongoing game, and always will be. The bottom of the belly of Kalnaranjan, it's full of gurus. It's full of gurus. This is the story of the snake being eaten by the ants. 120. So this the Nathan, you have to this has to come from within. I can only tell you that if someone is a master, they will not try to convince you to anything. They will not knock your door, and you will open the door, and they will say, "Come over, follow me." This is not how it works. They're forbidden of doing that. That is described by Kabir. You know, this whole process. They cannot do that. They will not open the mission. They will work with you one-on-one. And like Pranay said, referring to that video, Mr. Puri explained that the master look at you and evaluate you. Are you ready? He's not there to destroy your mind, but he's looking at your mind to be at least at the stage that he can work with. So if that's not possible, then there's always another lifetime. Everybody is hooked up on this life, this life, this life. No. Master will look at you, or I'm not speaking you specifically, this is general, I'm trying to explain. List B, next lifetime, or 3 lifetimes. Depends on a karmic relation. including a karmic relation between the master and the disciple. Masters also have their karma. They also get sick, and just like everyone else. So the master look at you and look at you as, how can I address this person? Okay, I know how. I can become a friend. I can become a friend with him. Oh,
The song.
like this song, yeah.
Good, yes.
So this what we listened in the beginning, which is very beautiful. When I heard that,
Crying, you are crying.
I wasn't crying, but I said, wow, this is almost, I mean, this brought, because I recognize the soul, the real seeking. And at that stage, master would do anything for that soul. I'm not saying I'm the master, I'm just a servant, okay? But I'm trying to explain something. When someone like Gunjan comes over to do something like that, I mean, what else master can do? That is seeking. Well, someone else just say, well, give me, do this for me, or do this for me, or prove it to me that you're real or not real, or prove, something like that. That was the lady case with Mr. Puri from Europe. She says, she gave Mr. Puri, I will follow you, but you have to prove it to me in 1 year that you are perfect living master. She gave Mr. Puri condition. And I met her in India. The lady in New Delhi. There was a dinner we attended, Mr. Puri had with some of us. And then Mr. Puri said, okay. And then she realized who she was dealing with a little bit, and initiate me. She was begging Mr. Puri for initiation, so to speak. And master at that point, okay, first you want me to prove that I'm the master, now you this and that. What happened all of a sudden? Gunjan, by the way, you have all the blessings of my master. I really want to thank you what you did. Most people concentrate on this or that, or do I do this or don't I do that? Simple acts are like that are more powerful than anything else. I went to the master and I approached him, Grace and I said, this way. And master said, Cezary, I don't know what you did to me,
I cannot say no.
but I can never say no to you. No matter what, ask for anything. I could never say no to you.